there's so many ways to skin a cat, right? So this is what I'm gonna say. Number one, I think we have to start when people are young. And by the way, it doesn't mean, I started at 30. So if you're thinking you're old, you're not old. I started when I was old, termed as old, especially in the Kenyan terms, right? I'm turning 38. I've never been younger, stronger, better looking, more, whatever you want to call it. I've never been better than I am today. And I believe by the time I'm 90, I'll be way better than when I was 30, right? So age is not a factor. You can start at any time. So let's just put the age thing outside the window. But if I was to start somebody, and if ideally, we would start career development all the way from lower primary, because the difference between here and the United States is kids know exactly where they're going. If you ask a child here, yeah, they're smart, yeah, they're getting A's, but nobody is really asking, like directing them and recognizing what are their strengths. And with those strengths, then how can you build up that child as they're going to go into that particular career? Also, remembering that you have to be solving for a problem that exists today. So our system is geared towards solving or teaching us to get into jobs that are no longer going to exist in 10 years. So we need to start understanding what are the jobs of the future, right? So our education system then is geared towards filling the gap of skills that are needed in the market over the next 20 years, 30 years, not skills that were needed 100 years ago or 30 years ago. So that's another gap that we are looking at. But again, it's very simple. Career should be part of, just the same way we are doing math, English, biology, career should be also part of that. That's number one. So that people start to understand early on, what is a resume? How do I put one together? What is a CV? How do I put one together? Because it doesn't matter if you have all the accolades in the world, if you don't have a paper that can tell me in 2 seconds or less who you are and why I should give you more of my time, right? And so we need to really start teaching our students as early as that, right? Secondly, job hunting is all about marketing. Just like everything else. Unfortunately, where we are, our parents were lucky, right? The generation, the boomers and all that were lucky because all they needed to do back then was go to school. And then the companies would come and everything would be great, isn't it? You will recognize that companies came to recruit, yes, in our campus, but I still had to fight for it, right? I had to go extra mile, go out there, put myself, go to conferences, do ABCD, and by the way, I went to another conference. Like I've always gone to a conference every year, despite the fact that I still have my job and I'm successful and all that. So all I'm saying is that we can replicate that. We should be looking at African problems and solving them the African way, but using technology. So we have a lot of things that we need to solve for. If Alexa doesn't speak Kikale, let's create Alexa that speaks Kikale, right? And so it's just a matter of identifying, okay, the problems that are in the first world are not necessarily the problems that are in the third world. So let's create local solutions for local problems by leveraging the technology that already exists. And by the way, the technology is a lot of open source, right? Open AI, all that. Leverage all this technology that is free, but as startups are coming up, number one, look at what are the local problems and then solve for them. Secondly, if you're looking for a job, the biggest thing I hear from a lot of people that are in Kenya is there's the mindset that, oh, you know, there are no jobs, there are no this, there. But can I tell you, in my experience, it's very difficult to get Kenyans who are prepared for the job market. Prepared. They have gone to school. They're extremely smart. Don't get me wrong. Kenyans, if I could carry all of you and take you to the United States, I promise you would succeed. The problem is, are we prepared to articulate all this stuff that we have that makes us stand out so that then we can compete in the market? We are not. 99% is not. So I get people saying, we really want to hire from Kenya. We know people are smart, but people turned up, they were late, they did not know anything, their resumes were crap, they had like typos on those resumes, and when they're told to speak, tell me about yourself, which is always gonna be there in any place, they can't even answer that. how do you expect to compete in the market if you don't have those basics? It doesn't matter whether you have a PhD, but if you don't articulate yourself. So those are the lessons I want us to articulate in our curriculum somewhere. How do you speak? How do you show up? What is your professionalism? People show up, they're rude. Don't be rude. One thing I learned is, even when they tell you no, you don't know where this person I told Microsoft no, but I told them no like 5 years ago. And again, we went full circle. Now I worked there, right? Was I rude? No, had I been rude, I wouldn't be where I am today. I left Amazon. I have emails, tons of them telling me you can come back anytime. As much as people are being laid off, they say, hey, you tell us when you want to come back, and we have a position for you. So the way you carry yourself matters. So I feel like, number one, those are some of the things we should be looking at. Now, what can the government do? Number one, their curriculum, they have to relook at that, right? And they have to now, as I said, part of the integral part, there are so many coaches. It doesn't have to be a thing that people do for 10 semesters, but at least one semester. They should employ career coaches that can help these students. Because students are great. They just don't have anybody to give them direction. And that's my mission. I want to at least bridge that gap as much as I can. I might not be a teacher sitting in your classroom, but I'm starting my own academy where you can online come and learn, and I'll teach you virtually from anywhere in the world, because I have had the opportunity to see the world. Now, the other thing that we have is our mindset is so closed up. We think Kenya is the only country in the world. And the borders, if you can't find a job in Kenya, then you have to think outside the box, right? If the startups are there, start something. Market yourself. Learn marketing. I used to hate sales and marketing. When I started my business, I was forced to learn marketing and sales. Now I love marketing and sales because it's given me so much money, right? So just like that, nobody's going to hire you if they don't know you exist. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, for example, nobody knows you exist, or you are a cybersecurity engineer, or you're whatever it is that you're doing. So Internet of Things is just a term that says A, B, C, D, right? So AI as well is also a term. Now, when you're in artificial intelligence, it just means what's your niche in artificial intelligence, for example. What are you creating? Are you creating a solution using artificial intelligence that helps people, for example, sales? Maybe there's a robot or whatever, an app that can sell faster or can do customer service faster or can do whatever. So it's geared towards the market. Like, what are you trying to solve again? But AI is all about ensuring that you leverage, right, artificial intelligence to make your work faster. A lot of people are scared about, oh my God, this thing is going to come and take our jobs. It is. But it's only going to take away the jobs that are super manual. And the people who are going to suffer are the people who refuse to understand how to leverage it. So if I was you, AI is for everybody. So if I was somebody who is not in tech generally, I would be saying this: listen, I want to learn how I can use ChatGPT to help me do my work faster, whatever it is, to write my homework better, to look at my files and summarize for me stuff, right? If I'm doing a presentation, now I can do it in 20 minutes, what I used to do a whole day, right? So that frees up time for me to do other things. So figure out how this stuff is going to help you. But first of all, understand how it works, right? So as an AI SME and as a cloud subject matter expert as well, I touched on that a little bit earlier. What I do is I come in, I understand your company, whatever the companies are. So some of the companies that I represent, for example, are SAP, Pepsi, P&G, Amadeus, all sorts of companies you never even heard of. But they are leveraging the cloud to make their computing systems safer, faster, cheaper, because now they don't have to use on-prem storage. We give it to them. Those are the services that we provide, right? So I come in, I understand, what is your business? What are you trying to do? So for example, Amadeus is one of the companies that sells, when you go to an airport and you're passing through the airport and the ticketing and you're booking your ticket, this is the company that gives all these airlines that. that capability. So their business is not going to be necessarily the same as SAP. SAP is a tech company now. It used to be about accounting, but it kind of moved on. Now it's a tech company. So it resells what cloud services from us to other companies as well. So what they're doing and what Amadeus is doing are two different things. So I have to understand your business. Then I have to be able to now lead you and tell you, hey, this is what you should be doing. This is how the cloud can help you become faster. Just like the way you have physical computers with different power, and they can be faster, they can be slower, depending on your pocket. In the cloud, it's the same. So it's just a virtual machine that is just like a normal computer, but now you get to pay. Well, if you want it faster, we'll give you faster, but you're going to pay more, right? If you want it less, we're going to give you less, whatever you want, depending on your business. So that's how the cloud is. But now you don't have to worry about backing up, security, all that crap. We take it off your table. Microsoft handles it for you, right? So it's a space that's forever evolving, because it's not just about the fact that there's all these different VMs. It's very complicated because our customers are different. They want different things. How do we deliver everything for all these people across the globe? My customers sit across the globe. So I also have to understand that, right? And so it's very exciting, growing. I would encourage people to get into that space. You've heard about data centers. There's a data center that was supposed to be built out here by Microsoft. I hope that still happens. If that happens, those are jobs that if I was a student here, I would be thinking, there's a data center that's about to be built in Kenya. So let me understand what a data center is. Let me get some sort of paper, right? Let me go to school and understand what data center engineering is. And then I would be ready for that. So if I was a student, that's how you recognize what are people looking for. So don't go to school blindly. Research the market, figure out what tech is looking at. Tech is evolving 24/7. So we are going to be looking for cybersecurity engineers, because with AI comes a lot of security challenges, right? All this open stuff that is there is very dangerous. So if I was a student, I'd be looking at cybersecurity, particularly in AI. So that's how technology is evolving. How did I get into the space? I'm very curious. I learn every day. I never say that I can't do it. Even if I've never done it, I can figure it out. YouTube University, I'll go to YouTube, and somebody has had that problem before. Somebody has probably put a video out. So leverage free resources, learn. Microsoft is putting out a lot of stuff. Google is putting out a lot of stuff. Amazon is doing all this stuff. AWS, I worked in AWS. There's a ton of free information. You don't have to go get a degree. Use YouTube, learn, put it on your LinkedIn and brag about it and tell us about the way you're the expert on it. Then I can say, oh, I saw that person who was talking about cybersecurity. That's the person we should hire. I would hire somebody on LinkedIn over somebody who just gave me their resume and I've never seen them before. So Gen Zs, whatever the other generations, Y, X, whatever, don't just be online doing just TikTok, right? Learn something, teach us something. Show us what your expertise is. That's what the job market is looking for. I think my parting shot is simple. I think Lupita said it well. That, all of us, it doesn't matter, all dreams are valid. It doesn't matter where you started. If you had seen me in Dandora, getting on those matatus and pushing them because they were the old ones, yeah? If you had seen me then, there's no way you would have thought I would be sitting here talking to CTOs of the biggest companies in the world and them looking at me as an expert. Never, ever. So all dreams are valid. Secondly, you have to love learning. There's just no other way around it. So one of the things that makes it easy for me is I just love learning. So whatever it is, even if I don't know it, I'll figure it out, right? So be curious. Thirdly, I'll be doing a series going forward every month where I will be doing sort of like a conference, be it virtually or when I am able to be in Kenya, I will do it physically, but where I have a day where we can all congregate and I can coach and I'll bring other coaches across the globe to speak to people who are interested in landing those dream jobs and getting ready for the market, be it in tech, be it in whatever it is that you're trying to do, right? And how to be a proper innovator, right? Because I think we have a lot of talent. We just need a little bit of direction. So if folks are interested, I'll be launching that soon, especially the youngins. This is your time, right? So never, ever give up. That's it.